Hello there, it's me again, Norbert Menhart, coming back with new content as promised. So, welcome to Tailwind CSS in React, because you could also use it in vanilla JavaScript and also in other frameworks. But this is Tailwind CSS specifically for React. So, let's jump right into it. What is Tailwind CSS? It is a utility first CSS framework for rapidly building custom designs. It is highly customizable, low-level CSS framework that gives you all of the building blocks you need to build simple designs with any annoying opinionated styles you have to fight to override. And by opinionated, yes, I do mean Bootstrap. So let's jump into Tailwind CSS versus Bootstrap CSS. Now, Tailwind CSS is a utility-first CSS framework, while Bootstrap is a component-first CSS framework. And you're going to see how Tailwind CSS really differs from Bootstrap because you have to build each and every component on your own. You only have very first utility classes. So Tailwind CSS is a low-level framework that provides utility classes to build your custom designs, and Bootstrap is a high-level framework that provides pre-built components to build designs. Now, this is not one is better than the other. They are just working in different matters. Now, Tailwind CSS versus Bootstrap CSS, there are some differences. And I compose a little table here to see how they differ. So, approach, utility first, Tailwind CSS, component first for Bootstrap. So, first thing that I'm going to say is always Tailwind CSS. The second one will be Bootstrap. Customizable, highly customizable, limitedly customizable. Low level, yes for Tailwind CSS, no for Bootstrap. Optimized, opinionated, no for Tailwind CSS, yes for Bootstrap. And you know why? Because every Bootstrap site looks like a Bootstrap site unless you are going to dive into SAS and change it on your own. For file sizes, Tailwind CSS has large file sizes, CSS files that is, and Bootstrap has medium file sizes. The learning curve is very steep in Tailwind CSS and it's moderated for Bootstrap. Performance-wise, Tailwind CSS is good, so it's not great, it's good, and Bootstrap is moderated. The community is large for both of them, so as I said, opinionated. The documentation is comprehensive for both of them. Plugins, both of them have great plugins. And theming, yes for Tailwind, limited for Bootstrap. Let's see, if you go on your Bootstrap website, you will see that there are limited themes, or you can buy multiple themes, but they cost a lot. Now, responsiveness, yes for both of them, and dark mode, yes for Tailwind CSS. It's extremely easy. We're also going to use it in our project, and no, well, yay, no. For Bootstrap, it's extremely complicated in my opinion. Again, opinionated. So let's move on to pros and cons for Tailwind CSS. So I'm strictly talking now about Tailwind CSS, no longer compare it to Bootstrap. Now, the pros for Tailwind CSS will be it is highly customizable. Tailwind is a highly customizable CSS framework that allows you to build bespoke designs without any annoying optimized styles, as I already mentioned. It is utility first, so it's a CSS framework that provides utility first classes to build custom designs. It is low level, as I mentioned, and by low level, I mean that the Tailwind CSS framework gives you all of the building blocks you need to build good designs. Now, performance, I do have it as a pro and I do have it also as a con, because Tailwind CSS is a performance-oriented CSS framework that generates small and optimized CSS files, and we're going to talk about performance in our cons again. Now, the community is large. Tailwind CSS has a large and active community that provides support and resources for developers. The documentation of Tailwind CSS is comprehensive, and it makes it easy to get started with the framework. We're also going to take a look at their documentation shortly in our project and go through their website. It has also great plugins. Tailwind CSS has a plugin ecosystem that allows you to extend the framework with additional features and utilities. Theming, as I already said in our table, Tailwind CSS will allow you to easily customize the design of your website by changing the theme configuration. It is responsive. Tailwind CSS provides responsive utilities classes that allows you to build responsive designs. Also, we're going to build a responsive design in an upcoming project and just see how easy it works. I think it works much easier than in Bootstrap. And it also has a really simple dark mode. Tailwind CSS provides a dark mode utility class that allows you to build dark mode design. And it's really just a class. Look at the whoop, throw it in there, and it works perfectly. Now, let's take a look at a couple of cons, because there are 6 of them, my opinion. Again, it has a steep learning curve. So Tailwind CSS has a steep learning curve due to its utility first approach and large number of utility classes. It's just horrible how many there are. And the file size also. Tailwind CSS generates a large CSS file size due to its utility first approach and large number of utility classes. It is extremely opinionated. Tailwind CSS is a opinionated CSS framework that may not suit everyone's design preferences. I'm going to come to that just in a couple of minutes. And in a car, I also have customization, because Tailwind CSS requires you to customize the design of your websites using utility classes, which may not be suitable for our projects. And also, the code looks horrible. So we're moving away from separation of concerns, where you have your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript somewhere else. And well, in this framework, we're packing everything back together, because React is mostly without React style components, is basically focusing on HTML and JavaScript, having everything in one place, using JSX, of course. But with Tailwind CSS, you also throw in CSS in there. It's not really CSS, it's actually classes, but you can almost just use inline styles at that moment. And you will see what I mean. Now, performance-wise, I did say it also has a negative side, because Tailwind CSS may not be suitable for performance-critical project due to this large CSS file and utility-first approach. So with this being said, I think we're just going to jump into the project. I'm going to show you how to install Tailwind CSS and how to set it up for React, that is. Okay, so you cannot use this installation step to set it up for a regular HTML, CSS, and JavaScript project. I did cover that on my YouTube channel. I'm also going to throw it into my advanced HTML, CSS, and JavaScript course. Okay, so with this being said, let's move on to the project.